funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Okay guys, I'm sure you all must have reportedly heard the news about the White House Correspondents dinner shooting, guys. This is really crazy, and there have been so many footage in the past few hours and so many investigations and lots more, and the shooter have been identified. His Instagram page and Twitter page is up here. Yes, he's a school teacher in California. Yes. Okay, this video is when President Trump, J.D. Vance and Melania Trump were evacuated from the White House dinner. Oh yeah, that's it. And these are some footage of when the secret agency were trying to get the shooter and looking for a shooter. There were so many random movements everywhere, and people were looking for their own safety, trying to be secure.
Gunshots fired at the White House Correspondents Center.
Stay back, stay back, stay back. Wait for the side. Wait for the side. Wait for the side. All right. Nobody go this way. Is that understood?
We are evacuating. It's not someone coming in.
Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? Downstairs, left, downstairs. Where? Where's it coming from? Over there. Where's it coming from? Where's the crossfire? Look out!
Bro, somebody go.
We got one down. Jim!
What the f? Oh my God.
Stay down, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, stay down. Where's that at? Inside, they're not inside. Everybody the back. He's in the back. In the back. Nobody comes in here.
Man, it's really crazy. The first footage was from Karoline when she was interviewed before the dinner. She said there are going to be some shots fired tonight in the room.
To rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I love it all. And you wrote most of it, you said.
I can't take credit. In true Donald Trump fashion, the man puts his pen to the paper himself. So it's a lot of his own work.
Oh yes, that's it. And this video has been gaining a lot of views on social media, and people saying she should be investigated. She's a suspect. So many things, and gaining numerous views on social media, guys. It's crazy. I don't know what you guys think about this. Looking at the video, she never meant about the shooting going to happen. She was only talking about Trump outfit and how the dinner is going to be held with so much vibe. That's what she meant. And this was a guy from CNN who was present during the shooting. I have this to say. Okay, sir.
Wolf Blitzer, we see you as well. We know that you witnessed this gunman in action, and you have stated that the gunman was firing as they were brought to the ground, but you were unclear in the direction to which the gunman was firing. Could you describe the clothing or the weapon that you saw from the gunman from your vantage point?
Is that a question for me? It's Wolf.
Yes, Wolf.
I just saw a big gun. I don't know what kind of weapon it was, and I heard the loud bangs that were going off. It was extremely frightening. I was only a few feet away. It was a total coincidence. I was walking back to the ballroom. We were on one floor above the ballroom. You had to go downstairs to go back into the ballroom. But the gunman was clearly on the secure side of the metal detectors. I don't know how he got through, if he got through, if he had been there earlier, but he was armed, he was firing, and police were there, and they were on top of him within a minute or so, and then they were on top of me to protect me as if I could have been shot too. So it was just a very frightening moment, and I'm not surprised at all that they've called off the whole evening out of an abundance of caution, knowing that at least one individual armed with a weapon had managed to get a few feet away from the door to the ballroom. He was not in the ballroom. He was outside the ballroom, one floor up, a few stairs up. But it was clearly a very dangerous situation. In a situation like that, you don't take any chances because you don't know if he was acting alone, if there were others involved with him, and what was going on. So I'm now in the lobby of the Washington Hilton Hotel, and all the people who were inside are slowly but surely taking the escalator up, and they're getting ready to leave and see if they could get a ride home one way or another. The security going into the event tonight was incredible. I had never seen security around the Washington Hilton Hotel for a White House Correspondents Association dinner or for any other major dinner as tight as it was tonight. And I've been to about 30 of these White House Correspondents Association dinners over the years that I've been with CNN, and it was just very, very, very intense. And I have no idea if there were any indications that something like this could happen, but I know that security was beefing up potentially for something, and something happened. But the shots were fired just outside the door to the ballroom. The shooter did not get into the ballroom, was shooting one floor up, the stairs leading to the ballroom, and it was just enormously loud, difficult to comprehend what was going on. And I'm sure we'll be learning a whole lot more about the suspect, what was going on, if there was a motive or whatever. But when the cops saw me only a few feet away from the shooter, they threw me to the ground and got on top of me to protect me. And then after a few minutes, they picked me up and took me away to a secure room, the men's room, which was not very far away. And there were about 15 other men already inside who were just trying to stay secure in the face of the gunshots that were going off. And I think I heard at least 3, maybe 6 gunshots, boom, 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 boom. And it was just enormously loud. I had no idea what was going on. And for, initially when the cop pushed me down, I said to myself, I wonder if, I was a target or whatever. And thank God I wasn't, because I was not shot. I was just thrown to the ground and protected to make sure that there were no gunshots aimed at me. So it was just a coincidence that I happened to have been there walking back to the ballroom when all of this took place. And it was just a frightening moment indeed. And people are still here at the hotel. They're trying to get out of here. They want to go home. I don't blame them. It's just a scary, scary situation.
You can watch as it's unfolding right now. You're going to see from the left part of your screen in a moment.
Yeah, this is the first time that we are seeing this on the big monitor, and the first time we are playing this at CNN. Okay, that guy just
see
ran
how quickly,
wow.
And you see the area that they appear to be near. We were told earlier, in the presence of a magnetometer. Look at the number of agents with weapons drawn who are running and pursuing this person. And again, note the very quick pace from which this person has moved. And again, we do not see the shooting of a Secret Service member. We do have a picture of the suspect on the ground. If we can show that as well in the screen, that shows the suspect without clothing on, which frankly is a normal course of business to remove to see if there's any threat under their clothing and beyond. But let's bring in John Miller to talk more about this.
John Miller, again, we're seeing the photo of that suspect on the ground. We don't know if the suspect was shot because we're getting conflicting reports on that. It was hard to tell in that photo if he was wounded. You have some new reporting. Why don't you give that to us first, and then I do want to ask you to analyze the video. So first, your new reporting.
Sure. I mean, we've been looking into this individual since early on in this. And, the picture that emerges of the man who's in custody is a 31-year-old man from Torrance, California. He is a graduate of California State University from Dominguez Hills. He seems to go on from there to Caltech. He does a volunteer program at the Jet Propulsion Lab. Looking at his social media, looking at his posts, what he plays as a nerd, techie, doesn't scream assassin, can't find controversial posts. He likes some other people's posts, complaining about layoffs in Washington of federal employees and things like that. But his social media doesn't tell us much about him. So the picture that emerges is not what you might expect from your typical assassin. But then again, look back at the other people who've been involved in these things. And if you've met one attempted assassin, you've met one attempted assassin.
And John, the president did say he has no reason to believe this individual was motivated by Iran. That's the one bit of information he gave us. And he was quite dismissive about that. He goes, I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason to think that. What he was motivated by is still to be determined. We will learn. Now, John, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the video the president put out. We played it. We'll play it again here of this individual running past the security. Just tell us what you see with your trained eye here.
So he's running at breakneck speed, and you see the first agent who he is running towards literally spins out of the way while drawing his gun at the same time, and then shots are fired. This happens in less than seconds. These are milliseconds in terms of the reaction time. And you can see by the way they move forward and are now reholstering their weapons that he is down, which means either he was shot and wounded by that gunfire, or other Secret Service agents ahead of them out of frame tackled him. But either way, he was taken down fairly immediately after he ran by at that high speed.
I'm Jeff Carroll, Interim Chief of Police for the Metropolitan Police Department. This afternoon, this evening, members of the United States Secret Service and the Metropolitan Police Department were here at the Washington Hotel for a site detail for the Correspondents Center. As the mayor mentioned, at approximately 8:36 tonight, an individual charged a U.S. Secret Service checkpoint here in the lobby area of the hotel. He was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. As he ran through that checkpoint, members of law enforcement from the United States Secret Service intercepted that individual. This is a very preliminary investigation at this point. We do know that law enforcement exchanged gunfire with the individual. We do know that a U.S. Secret Service Uniform Division officer was struck in his vest. He was transported to a local hospital for treatment. He seems to be in good spirits at this time. The suspect in this case, he was not struck by gunfire. However, he was transported to a local hospital to be evaluated. Again, we're very early in the investigation. We have members of the United States Secret Service, the Metropolitan Police Department, and the FBI here to continue to investigate this matter. But at this point, it does appear he is a lone actor, a lone gunman. There does not appear to be any sort of danger to the public at this time. However, we are continuing to investigate this matter. At this point, I will turn it over to, I believe, the FBI.
Hi, good evening. I'm Darren Cox. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Washington Field Office. The American public should be proud of the quick response and heroic actions from law enforcement officers tonight to keep the American public safe. Their actions are absolutely heroic. The public should also rest assured that there will be no stone unturned during this investigation. The FBI currently has our Joint Terrorism Task Force here on scene, along with our Criminal Division, our Crisis Response Team, and agents from across the country are working on any leads that may come in this investigation. Anyone with tips in this investigation should call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you.
Director Curran.
Thank you. My name is Sean Curran. I'm the Director of the Secret Service. Tonight, we saw exactly what our brave men and women do each and every day to protect our protectees. It's not easy, and I will tell you that they performed admirably. We got to see what they do, and that individual, when he charged a checkpoint, was apprehended. It shows that our multi-layered protection works, and I'm grateful to our partners that help assist us with building these sites and protecting these sites. Very fortunate that this officer is alive, is being observed, and I'm grateful that the President reached out to this officer and spoke with him earlier. I ask everybody to pray for him and all of our officers and agents that were involved, and I will tell you, we will continue with the mission. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge Pirro.
I'm Janine Pirro. I'm the United States Attorney. Right now, the defendant is being charged with 2 counts, 924C, using a firearm during a crime of violence, and a second crime under 111, which is assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon. Now, as you all know, there was an individual, a uniformed Secret Service officer, who was shot. And fortunately, he is doing all right and he will be fine. But it is clear, based upon what we know so far, that this individual was intent on doing as much harm and as much damage as he could. And thankfully, because of the checkpoint right outside the ballroom, where thousands of people were situated to hear the President of the United States, because that checkpoint worked, there was no one who was injured when it was clear where this defendant was going. Now, I want to make one comment. As a participant, someone who was in the ballroom, who came this evening to be part of a very lovely event at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I, for the first time, was in a situation where there were shots fired, shots heard, and a whole room went silent. When I lifted my head and when I looked up, every law enforcement officer was out there as we all had our heads down, thousands of them. These are the men and women every day who do what they do silently, and they do it with courage and with dignity. Thank God for our partners, the FBI, the Secret Service, the Metropolitan Police. All of them tonight acted so quickly that they prevented what could have been a horrific event where we were all sitting there in one room. The defendant will be arraigned on Monday in federal district court. But make no mistake, There will be many more charges based upon the information that we are learning in this very fluid situation.
So
Thank
don't
you.
forget, if you watch this video to the end, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and engage in my channel. Subscribe for more content and more news channel video. Okay, love you all.